Here you go, this is going to be a video about network troubleshooting on your new Windows 11 PC. So if you've installed Windows 11 and you deleted all the unnecessary junk, now you want to go on the internet. So in your case, the first thing to check is that you have internet on your box, on your ISP provided network box, and your internet, blinking LED is not like red, it's gonna be working fine. In my case it's white or not white, so it's turned on or not turned on. Then you check at the back of your PC. Normally you have a network interface card and it should be also blinking, for instance green and yellow if it's like an old style card. But even on my new laptops, it's still blinking bright yellow and green. And if it's having an issue, it's gonna be just showing a simple red light. Then the next thing, in my case, as I'm on VirtualBox, I'm just going over here to VirtualBox and right click on settings, go to network over here, and I add also a network interface card, enable adapter, and I choose a bridged adapter to facilitate this demonstration. Normally it should be a NAT network or a NAT to provide some privacy and security as well. Anyways, then back to my Windows 11 PC in full screen and full speed ahead. So if your internet connection is still not working, first thing you do is to type network and view network connections. Then you can see if you have any red X's or red signs or any kind of exclamation marks or whatever, that's your internet connection is not working or your internet network device is not working. Then in this case what you can do is right click on this Ethernet icon, disable it, you wait a little bit and then you enable it. And normally over here, instead of a globe with a stop sign, you will have this PC with a cable, showing up network internet access. If it's not the case, you simply open up control panel. So you either open up like this control panel, and control panel is getting opened, or you can click back here to control panel, and as you can see, instead of showing all the icons that you can use, you have these categories. It's annoying, I don't like, I prefer the old Windows style. So you just come up on the right here, category, and you use small icons. Big icons, I think it's okay too, great, but I still prefer small icons because I can see better what I'm doing. And over here in the middle I can see device manager, and in device manager I come back again to network adapters. So now, of course, over here as well we can disable and enable the device itself, but what we can do is uninstalling the device. So now the device is uninstalled, you can restart your PC, and either your device got automatically already picked up, or you come back over here to this device manager, right click and scan for hardware changes. Now your device arrived and your internet is back over here. So that can be another solution. Now we had two solutions. Second, you might have some DNS issues, because that can happen very often. I used to be using OpenDNS and it was set up on my router as my main DNS server. So OpenDNS is a free DNS provider, and it's part now of Cisco, and it gives great privacy compared to other DNS providers that use your data and also can give out your data in case of an investigation. So this is OpenDNS's IP address that you can actually use in your DNS configuration, except if you were in France, because in France OpenDNS is not working anymore. So how to do that? What you do is you go to, actually I just open this up again and open up again OpenDNS. So if your DNS servers given to you by your internet service provider is not working anymore, you just come over here, type in again network, view network connections, then right click on your Ethernet card, properties, then you can also disable at the meantime IPv6 because you won't be using that. Right click on this one or not, properties, and you can keep at this moment the automatically obtained IP addresses, subnet mask and default gateway, because it's your ISP's router that will be giving to you, but you can change your DNS, and I just at this time copying it. But if you don't have internet, you use your phone to get to a website and you just write it in manually. So I take this one, copy, write it over here, take this one as well, copy and write it over here. So before I actually apply the changes, I open up a command prompt that's gonna be over here. I type in a special command that you're gonna be using for troubleshooting a lot, ipconfig all. So you can see that the DNS servers at this moment are provided by my router. We will talk about these IP addresses in a second, but at this moment, as you can see, DNS suffix search list LAN, it's, you know, all the DNS data is searched on my LAN, on my router itself. So it's my router who is giving me my DNS information. So meaning that if you want to be a little bit more hidden online, choose a private DNS over your ISP's provided DNS servers. So if I click OK over here, close over here, and disable and quickly enable my Ethernet connection, I still will have my DHCP provided IP address, but you can see that instead of having my router's DNS, I'm having now the two DNS servers I set up over here. And if I go to, for instance, you know, as you can see, it's going on the same speed like before normally. Yeah, as I said, in France I can't use that. I don't have the it's disabled in France, so I just did something that I shouldn't have done, because in France that OpenDNS is not working. I'm going back over here. I just set up Quad9 and Goggle to show you what's going on. Quad9 is also, I think they are Swiss, it's a Swiss DNS service provider, and Goggle, you know, it's just to show you I don't use their DNS ever, but it can be really useful. Cluck, cluck, close. Normally it's already working, but I like to do a quick disabled, enabled. Here you go. So as you can see, that was my previous DNS setup from OpenDNS. Then again, ipconfig all. So now I have Quad9 and Goggle over here, and I can normally go to do some scrolling and trolling. So Goggle IT, Goggle, 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 Goggle traduction, whatever, and you know, internet is working like it should be on a different DNS than your internet service provider provided DNS. Here you go. So that could be one thing. DNS is always and very often is the issue. So fourth issue that could be is your DHCP. So your DHCP might be enabled and not working, or your DHCP server on your router might not be functioning at all. So you could still connect to your router with an IP address, but the router is not giving you anything. So if you've never seen your IPs, if you've never seen your IP address because you've never had, you have to understand that 99.99999% of the time your internet service provider set up a router for this, zoom it out. It's a dot actually, but I have an issue with my .168.1.0 or 0.0. So your internet service provider gives you this network 99.9999% of the time, gives you this network. It's always either one or the other. And your router, so network, it's nearly always like that, nearly always. And your internet service provider also sets up your router in case of the IP address of the router where you have to connect to get the DHCP, or just to connect. It's either 192.168.1.1 or 198.168.1.254, or the same 192.168.0.1 or 198.168.0.254. It's nearly always 99.9999 always like this, always. You can see even in my case it's 192.168.1.254. So it's you can guess this. If you don't have DHCP functioning on your router and you don't have internet access, you can guess this. And to make sure, you can actually ping it, but you can only ping it if your IP address is correct as well. So your IP address is also should be on this network. And it's gonna be more and less than these numbers. So more than 1, as you can see, and less than 254. So I would do a 35 and let's say 36 over here. So that should be your IP address. So first of all, you have to set your IP address to this, and you have to set your network address on the same address. So to give you an idea how it's working, I go to properties and I go to IPv4 and properties. So as you can see, now it's going to be a manual connection with a static IP address to my router 192.168.1. So my previous address was 39. I'm going to give 68. Subnet mask automatic. It's 255. It's like a 256 place address range on the network, and the gateway, as I said, it must be on the same network. And in my case, I know it's 254. If I didn't know, I would try 1, then would go right over here and check ping. That's a small program that makes it's testing basically the connectivity, testing the connection, testing the reach, if I can reach. So ping 192.168.1.1, and it's gonna be pinging nothing. It's not reachable, so it's not gonna be working. So I'm gonna be just exiting from this ping. Then I come back over here, and now I do the same for the 254. Okay, close. So I already can see that I have internet over here with this small icon. I do reping my server, And here you go, it's working. That's it. And if I go online with Firefox and I want to go to any web page, it's just simply working. It's that easy. So these are the basic. There can be tons of other issues with your network, but these are the basic issues that can come up. So it's either on the router side and you can't do anything because it's coming from outside, the connectivity problem. But even in this case, you could be able to connect or ping your router with these addresses and with these commands that we have been using over here. And the second would be on your network card side physically, then network card side over here, so disable, enable, then network card side from the control panel, that we went through, that uninstall and install. So control panel and device manager and network adapters, then uninstall and install. Then there can be DNS issues, and as I said, you just simply go to, again, network connections, properties, IPv4, and you try to resolve the idea of this possible 4 gateways for your router's IP address, and you always go on the same network. So if it's 1, it's 1, if it's 0, it's 0. As I said, 1 or 0 is the network address. With these starters, always, nearly always. And now you can ping your router so you can know which router is, which IP address is your router's IP. If you don't know anything about networking, this might look something very, very weird, but if you followed my ideas and followed my way of thinking, you might be able to troubleshoot your own network. So I just go back to DNS. No, just cancel it. I'm just showing you a quick IP config / all over here. So as you can see, DHCP enabled. Now I have my own IP address 168 and I set my router's IP manually to 254, and I can see that DNS servers I provided by myself too. So this is just some basic troubleshooting for your Windows. I hope it helped, and I hope actually that you won't have something more serious, but we'll come back and check on that as well. Thank you. Keep tuning in.